So I have some standard announcements that I'm going to make, that I make at the beginning of each meeting. The Sonoma County Mental Health Board is an advisory board empowered to listen to the concerns of our constituents and to help formulate policies that offer a consistent continuum of care for all those with mental health challenges. We are further empowered to advise the County Board of Supervisors on the mental health system of care. The Mental Health Board mission. The Mental Health Board acts as a community focal point for mental health issues and advocates for the development of a community network to promote the following: coalition building that will create a unified voice to impact public policy and awareness, a wider understanding and knowledge of mental health issues, the integrity of mental health services, and involvement of clients and families in mental health planning. The Sonoma Mental Health Board vision. The Sonoma County Mental Health Board collaborates with the Mental Health Services Division of the Sonoma County Department of Health Services to increase public and professional awareness of persons with mental health challenges and to help eliminate the stigma attached to those mental illnesses. We strive to positively impact the mental health system by listening to public input and working with mental health services to create policy that will offer hope to families and individuals living with mental illness. I am going to go ahead and call the roll, and let me do that first. Patricia Gray. Peterson Pierre. Betsy Chavez. Carol West. Fran Adams. Marianne Swanson. Becky Ennis.
Present.
Michael Johnson. Bob Cobb.
I'm present.
Peter McElweeny. Shannon Barton Grimm. Bob Hales is excused. Kathy Smith is me. Sherry Wires.
Present.
See you. Okay, and we have had a vacancy in District 3, and we still do because she has not yet been appointed, but Chris Kersey is planning to appoint Annabelle Nygaard. She's been coming to our meetings for some time. So if you see Annabelle show up, maybe you could put her over here with the panelists, Tori. So that will give us 15 board members. And that's the first time that I think that I've been on the board for a long time, and I don't know that we've had ever 15 board members. So that's exciting. Yay. Okay. Welcome, Annabelle. Nice to see you.
Hi, nice to see you too.
Okay, so for the public, if you would like to submit agenda items, you can do so prior to the executive board meeting, which is normally held on the first Wednesday of each month from 10:30 to noon. You can email or call Tori, tori.bartholomew@sonoma-county.org if you wish to add an item or to confirm the meeting has been canceled. If you have questions or comments, please direct them to me. Too many papers. There's the agenda. I knew it was here somewhere. Okay. So we do have minutes of December 15th. Have you had a chance to, I'm hoping you've had a chance to read through them. And I would welcome a motion to approve those minutes.
I have a question, Kathy. Do we have a
Yes.
quorum? Do we have a quorum?
Oh, that is a good point. I do not think we do. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we don't. So I will wait and do that later on in the meeting. Thank you, Bob. You're really good at keeping on top of me like that. I appreciate it.
Kathy, may I just mention for Tori that in the participants list for the minutes, Debbie Howell is listed twice.
I'm
So-
sorry, the minutes?
From December.
Oh, okay, sorry, I'll correct that. Thank you.
Got it.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. So Consumers Affairs Report. Michael was going to do that?
Yes, hello, thank you. Michael from WCCS. Kate was unavailable to make it tonight, so she asked me if I could provide a report of what's happening at WCCS and then also touch on an event that's happening tomorrow that would be great for anyone that's interested. So WCCS peer program specifically, tomorrow, all of our program managers are meeting for our 2021 strategic planning meeting to kind of get a broad vision of where we're going, look back on last year and our successes, and looking forward to this coming year and the areas that we want to continue to grow in providing peer services. Currently, the peer education and training, the peer support specialist training class has begun. We have over 10 new participants who are being trained in peer support to become peer specialists. So that's exciting. We have our new Amy Breckenridge is leading that class now with Kate's support. Wellness Center has computer access for those who are looking for researching employment, housing, benefits, anything of that nature. As far as I'm aware, we're the only computer lab available in the county right now that's open and operating. We are providing support for folks with that. Interlink is doing a Zoom support group on Monday mornings for anyone who would like to participate in groups, would like some support in how to utilize Zoom. Also having some social groups like Funspiration through Zoom. You know, there's plenty of, we all need tools, but right now it's also nice to just be in an environment where we're having fun and they're watching some fun videos together and having just some casual conversation where people can be around others with, you know, through Zoom without, and being able to see a smiling face without a mask is a big bonus right now. PPRC, Petaluma Peer, is beginning to offer a group for transitional aged youth. We have a new assistant manager there. You've probably seen emails that Sean sent out announcing Cameron's arrival, and he is leading a new focus group for Tay called Thriving Together. And then the EC is doing online support and art groups at the Winter Shelter, which is now open 24/7 in Guerneville. And so Michael Martin, the manager there, is meeting on site with folks and doing some art groups as well. Going forward, we just started this morning training for a new program we're calling Transitions. It's one piece in a larger program for helping those who are transitioning into housing, being able to provide some one-on-one support, some resources, some classes, and just really come alongside, provide the wraparound services that are so needed for those who are moving into housing, and being able to really personalize that more in a one-on-one way. and to be able to provide the support that that each individual is needing as they are making that transition. We all know that just giving someone 4 walls doesn't fix all the issues, and that we want to be able to help everyone and figure out what are the tools and resources and support that they need in particular. And so we are beginning the first stages of that right now, and look to continue to build on that throughout the year. So that's kind of the WCCS rundown. Also wanted to touch on, and I know Erica's on here and she may talk about this, I'm sure most of you are aware, but the Path to Hope Live event tomorrow, it's the last one in the series. If you haven't had a chance to log in and check one of those out, strongly encourage you to do so tomorrow. It's been an incredibly inspiring and uplifting and resourceful series. And so tomorrow is, there's a focus, Melissa Ladresch will facilitate part of it. Buckaloo, NAMI, Humanidad, Center for Wellbeing, and WCCS will all have both a provider and a recipient of services to talk about their experience, to talk about their programs, and also their experiences of utilizing the services there. And so highly encourage anyone who is available to please check that out. It will be time well spent. And I think that's all I have.
Okay, I highly recommend, I'm echoing. I highly recommend that people do attend the Path to Hope Live. When I looked at it, I thought it was on Thursday, the 21st.
It is.
Oh, it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is Thursday. Yeah, I
Okay.
apologize. Thursday at 4.
No, that's good, but I just want people to, look for it on the right day. Okay, thank you very much for that report.
Thank you.
Okay, keep moving this around. Okay. Do we have other public comments? Tori, do you see anybody's hand raised?
No, Elizabeth Smith, hold on, there's one.
Hello, everyone. This is Elizabeth Smith with Sonoma County ACES Connection. I just wanted to share that we have our first meeting of 2021. It is next Thursday. We've changed our meeting day and time. So it is next Thursday from 3 to 4. So I just wanted to put that out there and share. And I put my email in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So I see that Fran and we've got a few more people here. Let me count. I think we need 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're getting there, almost. Okay. So Sid.
Yes.
I don't know if you were planning on staying for the whole meeting or not, but I'm going to insert this here. We have decided as a board that we are going to honor and appreciate someone or some part of the behavioral health system and each month. And you rose right up to the top to be the one that we are honoring this month. So I did not want to forget to do that. And looking at your beautiful face, I decided to do it right now. So let's see, I made up a certificate for you, And of course, that is one of the things that I do not have sitting in front of me. But you'll be getting a certificate from the board that you will be able to either hang somewhere or put in your drawer, whatever you want to do with it. But we are honoring you. And I think there were a couple people that wanted to say a little bit about some of the wonderful things that you have done for the system. So I think Erica and Sean wanted to speak.
Sherry? Did you hear me?
Yeah, Sherry?
Yeah. Yes. Hi, Sid. I go back a long time, a few years back with Sid. And as a family member, I really appreciate the groups that you had for us to get together and talk about our family members and get support and support each other and get support and how that all worked. Someday over the rainbow, I'd like to see that come back. Very,
Mary, we're still doing it.
Oh, you are?
Mhm.
Well, by Zoom, right?
Yeah,
Okay. What day, what time?
Monday, the second Monday of the month from 4 to 6 every month
Great. Thank you.
with Buckaloo.
Yes, thanks.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. I thought it was a different. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, and Katie Swan could not be here, but she wanted to say how much she's enjoying doing that with you.
It's definitely my heart work. Thank you.
Erica?
Heart felt it.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Oh man, I don't even know where to start. I met Sid, I think probably the first week or two that I started in the mental health field. And she's been a real mentor for me throughout my career. She's solid, she's heart-centered, she shows up for people, she's always willing to answer a question. I haven't seen her ever lose her cool. So, that says something about a human if they are able to just really roll with it. And I, in the last couple years, we've all went through so much with so many fires and floods, and to have her leadership has just been really important, I think, for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're somebody in the community or if you're a provider or if you're a community partner, she really just is there to support you. She doesn't always have the answers, and she'll tell you that, but she always is willing to listen and to show up. And she really was a big advocate for families and for individuals with lived experience. She's really just been there for our community. And so I can't say enough about her. I could give you a big, long list of all the amazing work that she's done over the years. But I think that the most important part is that she's really consistently there to support everyone.
I totally agree with that. I see that Katie is here.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I speak a little louder, but we can't hear you.
Okay, how about now? Yeah,
That's better.
okay. Yeah, I just wanted to, tell Sid how thankful I am for her and for all of the work that she does in our community. No matter how busy you are, you always find time to run our family support group. And you might be in a meeting and you'll see that a family's calling or individuals calling, you always find time to step out and answer their call, help kind of navigate through the circumstance, or just provide encouragement to them. And you don't just do that for individuals and families, but you do that for your peers, your coworkers, all of us community partners, and that means so much. Truthfully, you're one of my mentors that I look for, I look to learn from on a regular basis. You don't shy away from challenges. You always lead with your heart and your knowledge, and you meet people where they're at. And you have really touched my life, both personally and professionally, along with so many other families that we have had the opportunity to work together with. So I just want you to know that I'm really thankful for you and I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Katie. I'm glad you popped up. I know that Sean Kelson also wanted to speak, but I thought I saw somebody on the board with their hand up. Oh, yes, Carol, and then Sean.
Yeah, I know that I'm part of the jail work group, and when we started out trying to make the link between the mental health board and jail and prevention services, we truly did not know what we were doing or who to go to or where to turn. And Sid was the name that came up again and again. And we just want to say thank you very much for you facilitating that process. It's been a real learning journey. And but we would still be on page 1, paragraph 1, if it hadn't been for you. So thank you, really, thank you.
And I've been around long enough to know that you spent a long time being in charge of forensic services for behavioral health. And I think that your kind leadership in that role affected many people, many who probably don't even know that it did, but you touched my heart with that too. Sean, would you like to speak? I see you, but I don't hear you. Was there anybody else?
Is that better now?
Yes, that's much better.
Okay, yeah, my miming isn't up to par. Yeah, it's great to see everybody. Great to see you, Sid. I'm really glad this is happening. This is really important, and it continues to be a great support to have Sid in a key role, which I guess translates into many key roles that you end up doing in the behavioral health division. You know, throughout your time here, your ear, your presence, you're willing to help on so many levels continues to, you know, to amaze me, and I'm incredibly grateful for the impact it has on our community and, you know, from the people on the streets to our staff. Some highlights, there's so many things. I'm remembering we were transitioning from the old PES to the new CSU, and you coming here and speaking with people, providing this transparency and sharing and a really key force in culture shifting in very positive ways. I don't know how conscious that was, though. It's been wonderful, your collaboration, and that I'm still occasionally I'm like, gee, I don't know what to do with this information. I'll ask Sid, and you always come up with a friendly answer, whether it's this should go here or no, I can answer that for you. It's just, it's a joy to have you here. Thank you so much for all the important, amazing, caring work that you do.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you, Sean. I think, Sid, that truly you have affected people across the community. I think that your support has been felt by staff. I think it's been felt by, you know, the clients. I know it's been felt by family members, including myself, people in the jail, staff there, and, you know, all of the people there who are using mental health services have been affected by your input. Definitely CSU. I remember when you were working on making that space much more comfortable than the old one was. So we celebrate you today. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy, and thanks everybody. I this is a complete surprise, and it's just so lovely to have such an incredible community to be able to collaborate with. I mean, I just think the world of every single one of you, and I'm just feel very lucky, feel very fortunate, and very honored to be part of stitching our behavioral health services together with you. And now I'm very deeply concerned about what a hard time Bill's going to be giving me for the rest of the week. So.
Well, it'll be a good hard time, I'm sure.
So much appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, and we will find you. Are you at CSU?
Yeah, I'm working at the CSU now until we find somebody to take over the management role there.
I'll figure out how to get the certificate over there to you. And it's lovely, but I didn't, think to print it out, so I can't read it to you. But it basically says what everybody else has said, but in much shorter words. Bill, did you want to give her a hard time right now? You're muted. So now she gets to give you a hard time.
He's speechless.
may need
He's
to log
speechless. Yeah.
He may need to log out and log back in.
Okay, well, your report will be very short if this is the way. Bob?
I just wanted to say I have been on the periphery for some time, and I'm not sure. Hopefully you can still hear me, but for some reason my screen went totally blank. Am I still there?
Yes, you are still
Okay. Well, I can't see you, but my sense was certainly that you have been a great resource in the department, and people acknowledge it even if it hasn't previously been spoken. But the nice thing about all this adulation is you're not hearing it at your retirement party. You're hearing it while you're still working.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to give Bill one more chance and then thank you, Bob.
Oh, they switched places.
I think Mary Frances also wanted to say something.
Yes, I did, if I can.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, I just wanted to say that for our warm line, sometimes I send the snarliest of questions to Sid because some of the situations are so complex, and I always feel guilty because I know how busy Sid is, but it doesn't matter. I always hear back from her. And what I think Sid manages to do so well is just, she's reasoned, she's calm, she's supportive. And I'm just so grateful that you're there, Sid, and agree with everything that's already been said, and just my heartfelt thanks to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary
Thank you,
Frances.
Mary Frances. Bill, are you there now?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So actually, you guys are doing such a better job of giving her a hard time than I ever can, because the way I give Sid a hard time, most people I bust their chops, I tease them. Sid, I praise her in public, and she just suffers. So, I can hardly wait to get to our next staff meeting and just describe to them the profuse adoration and admiration you all have bestowed upon her, huh, Sid? Isn't that going to be nice during the staff meeting?
We'll have words later.
I would say this just reinforces for me, this is one of the smartest mental health boards I've ever worked with.
Oh, well, that's a compliment. Thank you. Okay, here it is. I couldn't find mine, but thank you, Tori. Sid, a certificate of appreciation in honor of your continued support of all those caring in any way for those involved with the mental health system in Sonoma County. You have given support to clients, staff, family members, those in crisis, those in charge, those in need of your kind and thoughtful decision-making. the Sonoma County Mental Health Board honors you with this certificate awarded to Sid McCauley, January 19th, 2021. So there you have it.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. We'll get that to you. Maybe I'll give it to Bill to give it to you in front of all the staff. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for being you. And I forgot to, I'm going to move on now. I forgot to ask if Maria was here, and she is. So hello, Maria. I'll get to your report later, but there you are. And I noticed a couple more people have come in. So let's go ahead and quickly get the minutes approved if people are willing to do that, and then we'll go on with our special presentation. So is anybody, if have you had the chance to read the minutes? And I would accept a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve December minutes.
Thank you.
I second it.
Fran seconds.
I second it.
Okay. And I just went to
second.
I went to a training, so I learned at the training that since it's on Zoom, I'm supposed to do a roll call, so I'll do it fast. So Betsy,
Here?
do you approve? Are you approve
Yes.
the minutes?
Yes.
Okay, yes, okay. Carol,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
Becky,
Aye.
Bob, Cobb,
Aye.
Peter McElweeny, myself, yes, and Sherry,
Abstain. I
abstain.
wasn't there. Yeah.
Okay, so they are approved. Thank you very much. Okay, so Betsy has put together a nice group of people to tell us about the East County, what's happening in the East County. So, oh, I wanted to note also, just before you start, that the Board of Supervisors report, Supervisor Gorin did say that she was going to attempt to come, but she is in a meeting currently and will come at the end of our meeting. So she will be here though. So Betsy, you want to go ahead and introduce the first guest?
Yes, of course. So just a note on that as well. I spoke with Supervisor Gorin today. She thinks that maybe this meeting tonight will run a little late, so she may not attend, but she will attend the following if she's not able to attend tonight. So we'll
Okay,
have her.
perfect.
We'll have her eventually, but she wanted us to be aware of that. And the first presenter I have lined up with for tonight is Mary Carmen Reyes from the Sonoma Clinic. And so she, I believe, has a presentation for us. I don't know if I can.
She should be able to share her screen now.
Okay, perfect. And I see her audio is connecting. She has a meeting following her presentation, so I'm gonna have her present first. And then we have Guadalupe Navarro with Latino Service Provider. We also have Erin Hopkins with Hannah Institute. And the Mary Carmen needs to reconnect. And I have Nubia from Humanidad Therapy, as well as Refugio Mata from On the Move. So we're gonna get a good sense of what is happening here in Sonoma Valley. And more so, these are entities that not only provide services, but connect to resources. So our community to resources. So I thought it would be good to hear from them. And Sara Isabel is also here from Latino Service Provider. So I can see my.
It looks like Maria Carmen's having some difficulty connecting. She might need to call in, is what the comment says.
It does not allow me to call in, it says. Not sure. Okay, I think if, while Maria Carmen, because I know Erin's presentation is pretty short. So.
Hi,
if
can you hear
don't-
me now?
Oh, yeah. Go
Yes.
ahead. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate your patience. Unfortunately, I do not have a presentation as I do have another meeting, but I did want to, be able to join this meeting as well. So thank you so much for having me. My name is Mari Carmen Reyes. I'm the Outreach and Event Coordinator for Sonoma Valley Community Health Center. I'm also one of the eligibility enrollment counselors. So we do Medi-Cal, CalFresh, Cover California, and so forth. But I know Betsy asked me today to speak regarding the mental health services that we provide. So as a fairly qualified health center, that is one of our departments. We do have 2 LCSWs as well as a psychiatrist. Currently, they're working from home. So our patients are either connecting with them via like a telehealth visit or through phone. But one of our LCSWs is bilingual, but otherwise we do use medical interpreters to be able to support our patients. But the ones that speak Spanish are mainly attend with the bilingual LCSW. We do take primarily Medi-Cal or sliding scale for our patients that are uninsured, and we do refer those that do have private insurance to their mental health providers within their network. But I'm open to any questions. I'm really grateful for the support, that Hannah Institute is providing in our valley. I think working with community partners is very important because mental health or behavioral health is an issue that we all really need to work together, not only with adults but with children and just the different situations that are affecting our community's mental health currently, in addition to already what community members were going through. So I'm open to any questions.
So, Carol?
I was just wondering if there's a formal partnership between the Sonoma Valley Clinic and the mobile support team.
The mobile support team, I know that, are you talking to the one that the county had set up a couple years ago?
I'm just, I guess it's the mobile support team. I'm wondering if the Sonoma Valley uses.
Because I know that they had, I think at one point they were retired from both Russian River area and Sonoma Valley. With that, they had something I recall with when they did the Sonoma County budget. So that's something actually that I would like to check in. But currently, we're just working with our own mental health providers. Of course, if we need support, we'll call for 5150. We work with the rural hospital and collaborate with the sheriff as well if we need have any situations. But I'm not currently, I can check in with our mental health staff, but I know that I haven't seen personally or haven't heard that the mobile mental health unit has come out. I do recall something about that they had released it or approved it to come to Sonoma Valley, but then there was a change during I believe it was during last summer when the Sonoma County budget was being reviewed.
Ms. Reyes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so our MST program does serve Sonoma Valley. We don't have a formal relationship or MOU with you. Certainly interested if you are talking about that, but Karen Salidi is here. Kathy, if you want somebody to talk about what MST is doing in Sonoma County, Karen's here to talk about that.
And I do know that you all have, the Sonoma County has its own caseworkers at the 810 Grove Street office, correct?
Yes.
But so I don't know if that's considered the mobile health unit, mobile mental health unit. But I do know that if needed to be referred to the county, our LCSWs will do so. But thank you for the clarification, Mr. Carter. I appreciate that. And I think Mr. Bob or Cobb has a question.
Bob Cobb.
Yes. Right. Do you have your own facility? If so, if not, where are you located normally?
Yes, we are a fairly qualified health center, so we're the same as Santa Rosa Community Health. So that we do have a facility located on 19270 Sonoma Highway. So we're in the city limits, but very close to the springs. So we're literally we do have a bus stop access, and so people or patients are able to come through the bus, and we also have transportation access for patients that don't take the bus. But we're in the city of Sonoma, very close to the limits of the springs.
Thank you.
Can I ask Kathy a question? Is that adjacent to the Maxwell Farm?
Yes, we're across the street from Maxwell Farms.
Okay, thank you.
So the question, Carol's question was about mobile support team, and I know that you have to go to another meeting, but Karen Salidi is in charge of the mobile support team, and maybe she could describe that quickly so that you're more aware of.
Yes, I would appreciate. I mean, I know I had heard about it. As I told you, I'm from the Arts department, so I have to know a little bit of each department because I'll work with different agencies or giving presentations. But and it's been right now really hard because our mental health staff is not on site, so it's very different to when we're working together, can run over and ask questions. Mm-hmm. But they haven't been working on site. It's going to be a year. But I'm more than happy to check into that as well. But I would appreciate more information from Carol.
Okay, so Karen, Betsy, would it be okay for Karen to speak briefly on what that is so that Mark comment?
Yes, of course.
Karen, are you there?
I am here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm always happy to talk about mobile support team. So we have been responding to Sonoma for about 2 years now. Mobile support team, as it's currently structured, works Monday through Friday from 1 to 9 p.m. and we respond to calls from law enforcement. So we go out and we meet law enforcement in the community to respond to crisis calls. Certainly we do go out to the Sonoma Valley whenever we're called. Mobile support team's been around since 2012, but in Sonoma Valley since January of 2019. The team consists of 2 staff, 1 clinician, and then a second either clinician or alcohol and other drug specialists. We also have contracts with a couple of the agencies in this virtual room, contracts with NAMI to provide family support, contracts with West County Community Services for peer support, and contracts with SOS to provide additional clinician interns to work with the team. Very happy to have all of those partnerships. And we are in the process of adding weekends to the team, which is really exciting. And we also have been requested by the Board of Supervisors to look at the possibility of having the team add the ability to respond to calls from entities and people other than law enforcement, or in addition to responding to calls from law enforcement. I know that's something that the community has wanted, and we would love to be able to do that too. So we're looking right now at possibilities of expanding our ability to respond outside of law enforcement for calls that haven't reached that law enforcement threshold. So we would be happy to hear thoughts that anyone has about that, or input about how you think we could best do that.
Karen, I really appreciate you letting me know that. I know I had seen the press release when the approval came out to go into the Russian River and Sonoma Valley areas. And then I remember it was something on the cutting board, and I really didn't realize what had happened after, because it was like in the middle of the pandemic. But I really appreciate that update. I mean, we do call, that's who we call. We call law enforcement. So thank you so much for being on the other side of the bridge and really helping our patients, you know, get those services. I knew that something had been approved, and but thank you again.
Oh, absolutely. Our pleasure. We hope to work more closely with you in the future.
No, definitely. And I'll be, if I can somehow get your information, maybe Betsy can email it to me. I would greatly appreciate that. Because as I mentioned, we always call directly the law enforcement. But you know, as you mentioned, there's always people on the other side helping them to get the services for the patients.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if anyone has any other questions.
Not seeing hands
Thank
raised.
you. Thank you, Maria Carmen. You know, Maria Carmen is a huge advocate here in our community and is an amazing resource. So I'm very happy, Maria Carmen, that you were here. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Betsy. And actually, right now I'm part of another group of volunteer. We're going to do a presentation on human trafficking, so that's a big issue also that affects mental health. So I wish everyone a beautiful evening. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you too.
Thank
Erin,
you.
are you there? Erin's going to speak briefly about our ACEs program that we have going on.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see so many faces on here, people that I've gotten to work with in all different ways. Hi, Fran. Fran used to be my boss in a way. Thank you for letting me hop on, and I have a tiny person next to me coloring Legos, so I'm going to make it brief. I do have a screen to share for us visual learner types. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Host disabled participant screen sharing. You know what? It's not a big deal. It just has some pretty logos on it I was very excited about, but that's all right. I'll send it in an email. I'm so glad you got to hear from Maria Carmen first. I'm going to follow up with two specific opportunities. I just wanted to make sure we're on everybody's radar. The first is, well, they're both training opportunities. The first one is a training opportunity that we received at Hannah, as well as a training opportunity through grant funding that Santa Rosa Community Health, RCHC, that's the Redwood Community Health Coalition, Dovetail Learning, who else? CIR, that's the Center for Innovative Resources. I think it's a total of 5 agencies in Sonoma County were recipients of inaugural funding from the California Surgeon General's Office for the ACEs Aware Initiative. This initiative was designed to help increase capacity and training of Medi-Cal providers and other agencies that serve along the spectrum of care. That's my husband cooking in the background, sorry about that. To increase their capacity to not only screen for ACEs, now that that is a reimbursable cost, but to also have training on what to do when early adversity is discovered. and what to do about it in terms of treatment protocols. So we received 2 grants to provide external trainings as well as to do communications work out in the community. We just launched our beautiful website where we'll be listing all of our trainings as well as any trainings made available for the external community by our partners. Hold on one second, okay? And we're actually, our very first training is tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 5 p.m. We're offering at least 1 training a month between now and June, a whole range of topics, everything from your foundational TIC 101 to some complex trauma and health implications, training for community health workers, trainings on ACEs screening and perinatal mood disorder treatment and screening, training in SPR and in PFA. So really the goal is to just inundate the community with more and more skills and knowledge. And we're really, really proud of this work. We have a website, norcalaces.org. Again, I'll have Betsy send out everything. Our first trainings sold out. I mean, they don't cost anything, but they were full within about 4 days. Our grant specifically is geared towards outreach to Sonoma, Napa, Marin, and Yolo counties. That's the grant coverage. Anyone can take them, but we're really targeting those areas. We had somebody sign up from the UK. We had a deli owner from Ontario sign up who, when he described why he wanted to learn about trauma-informed care, he said, I see a lot of trauma at my counter and I want to know what to do. And it just made my heart really happy. So anyway, it's there. It's on our website. We'll drop it in the chat box. Any questions about that before I give you the quick rundown on the second opportunity?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How many seats do you hold per workshop?
So it's going to be a little different depending on each training. For this very first one, for our TIC 101, we had a 125 person sign up because this is a live interactive training. There's Zoom room breakouts, there's arts, there's movement. It's very interactive because nobody wants to stare at a Zoom screen and not move for 4 hours more. But some of them will be asynchronous learnings. We'll be using a program called Easy Generator that breaks them down into online at any time. You can do them in your PJs with some Chardonnay, and it's, you know, deep learning. And most of them will offer CEUs through our RAGCAMFT certification. So that would be LCSWs, MFTs, LPPs, and there's another acronym I'm forgetting in there. But it's all website, all the information's on the website.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to check it out.
Erin, I have a question. I haven't heard about these trainings. You said that target population is Santa Rosa area, all these things, but besides the website, have you distributed or I haven't received this information and
no, Nubia, I'm sorry.
I haven't received, so I will be very interested in sending the MFTs and social workers there. So I will go to the website, but can you put me in your distribution list, please?
Absolutely. And I'm sorry you didn't get it, Nubia. We've been, you know, it's our first crack at this on relying on all sorts of networks. And unfortunately, the state would not give us a list of Medi-Cal providers. They did not actually provide the information on the people they wanted us to target. So we're just kind of relying on our partners to help us gather all the information. But it's looking like we're going to need to host at least one more TIC 101 training just because we are so inundated with requests. Our wait list is almost 250 people long. So keep an eye out for that. We haven't confirmed, but all of the other trainings, we're going to kind of launch them, the registration month after month after month, just to keep it manageable. But I will make sure you get on that distribution list, Nubia. Okay, second opportunity is the Hannah Institute Summit at Home. Last year, we launched our annual conference here at Hannah. It was at the Hannah Boyce Center campus. It was 3 days. It was beautiful. We had folks like Dr. Ken Hardy and Dr. Sandra Bloom coming and talking about all things related to trauma, toxic stress, resilience building practices. Hold on one sec, okay, babe? Great job. 3-day conferences in person aren't really an option right now. And so we decided to transform it into a fully online, multi-month
summit at home. And rather than, again, having folks stare at Zoom screens, because we can only do that for so many series here at Hannah, we decided to make these fully pre-recorded, short, 10 to 20 minutes tops videos that will be available for at least a full year for free. There's no cost for these, and they are going to be skills. This is not theory. This is, you're in and you want to know, what does it look like to do this work in your classroom? What does this look like to do at your Boys and Girls Club? What does this look like to do in your pediatric practice? We're very much focusing on youth serving agencies, and that includes schools. And we are honing in on not only the trauma and stress created by natural disasters, by shelter in place, but also race-based trauma, legacies of white supremacy, and the way that that manifests in the body and in behaviors. So we have, again, everything from conversations, very skills-based conversations on policy, all the way down to amazing kindergarten teachers talking about how you can help 5-year-olds regulate in the Zoom room. So we're really excited. That website's going to be launched with all the information by the end of the week. And again, that is the Hannah Institute Summit at Home. Again, it's free. Anybody who wants to help underwrite it, to help continue to allow us to offer these things for free, send them my way. I'd be happy to take their information. Questions?
What's your husband making for dinner?
Honey, what are you making for dinner?
Making chicken adobo.
Chicken adobo. I'm married to a Filipino man. We have a lot of adobo.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Thank you.
Erin.
Looking forward to that Hannah Institute one.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Good night. And Lupe with Latino Service Providers, please.
If it's okay, I'm wondering if we have permission to share. We have a quick 5 minutes slide presentation that we would like to provide, but I am very much a visual learner, and we're talking about numbers. If I don't have the visual to follow, you lose me. And so
You should be able to.
I want to make sure that I provide those that are like me the opportunity to see what I'm talking about. And my presentation will also include Sara Isabel, so we'll go ahead and tag team it to provide you all the opportunity to learn a little bit more about Latino service providers. So I'll start off by introducing myself while Sara connects to the PowerPoint.
So it's still saying host disabled attending screen sharing.
Oh, sorry, I told Tori Lupe would be sharing her screen. So
and it's Sara.
No.
Try it again. Go ahead and try it again.
Awesome.
There we go.
Again, my name is Lupe Navarro, and I am the Executive Director of Latino Service Providers. And with us, we have Sara Isabel Virgen. I would have allowed her to introduce herself. Sorry, not that I'm introducing you, Sara, but considering you're multitasking right now, Sara Isabel Virgen is the Communications Manager for Latino Service Providers. And I want to start off by saying thank you for this opportunity to share with you a little bit more about Latino Service Providers. And again, considering the time frame, I'm going to be very brief and don't have the time to go into details about all that we do at Latino Service Providers. Next slide, please. So Latino Service Providers, for those of you that are not truly familiar with the organization, it was actually founded more than 30 years ago, but unfortunately not recognized as a 501c3 as a nonprofit until 2013, 2014. Originally, the intention of the organization was to be as a bridge across generations in the Latinx community. We do this by advancing the development of young leaders, building awareness about mental health and wellness, culture, social issues, and advocating for everything. Next slide, please.
Okay, so like Lupe mentioned, hi everyone, my name is Sara Isabel Virgen. So this kind of PowerPoint slide is kind of a representation of who LSP is. As you can see, our youth promotores do a lot in the community, and LSP has continued to engage with community in community. We use our social media platforms to kind of expand and network with our community, and especially in response to the wildfires, as well as COVID. Okay, and then two of our more very successful programs that we have with Latino service providers are our monthly meetings. So our monthly meetings consist of kind of inviting a host outside of LSP. It's a local organization that comes and educates the community about what type of resources and services have been provided, or what type of resources and services that they provide. For example, we have had Hannah Institute come in and host one of our meetings. Unfortunately, due to COVID, all our meetings are currently taking place online. Right now, we are hosting 6 meetings. It used to be previously 11 meetings, but due to budget cuts, we had to condense, and now only currently hosting 6 meetings. From the year 2019 to 2020 fiscal year, we were able to have 212 participants at these meetings. They're very successful, and most participants, more than half of participants are confident in referring other individuals, such as their clients, to the services being offered. And our next component is also the e-newsletter, which goes out to approximately 1,800 plus members. It is all bilingual information, bilingual and bicultural information from resources such as mental health, food, education, housing. Now with COVID going on, that's a huge thing. So like I mentioned, there's 18 plus members registered to our e-newsletter. And then that doesn't include those members also forward that e-newsletter to other individuals outside the members that we already have. We've been told that the e-newsletter kind of provides, they utilize it during a check-in, a staff check-in, as a way to kind of relocate and regather information that's currently going on in our community. Like I mentioned, we encourage organizations to share bilingual and bicultural information with us because we want to be responsive to everyone that's looking at the e-newsletter, but we understand that that's not always possible. So in times where if we only get a flyer in English, for example, we do want to help and try to promote it in Spanish as well. So staff does take the time to translate any information if necessary. But we do understand that that sometimes might be a little time consuming on our end.
I want to acknowledge that both the newsletter and the monthly meetings are events that we're able to sponsor in partnership with mental health funds. So Latino Service Providers is contracted with Sonoma County's Behavioral Health Department, and those segments are funded by the MHSA funds from Sonoma County. Whereas our Youth Promotor program is a model, a grant, a 5-year grant that we received from the Office of Health Equity and the California Reducing Disparities Project. However, this is a 5-year grant and unfortunately is kind of coming close to an end. Our Mental Health Promotor program is a program that recruits students between the ages of 16 to 25 as students of Sonoma County. Our program, Testimonios Project, is originally titled Testimonios Project. It is now considered a Youth Promotor program because of the growth of the model. So Youth Promotores originally first cohort was recruited to focus on mental health, to educate the community in hopes of reducing stigma around mental health, particularly around the Latino community, and also to help introduce our students to the field of mental health and health in general, so that in return, and our goal and hope is that it'll help us diversify our workforce here in Sonoma County. Next slide, please. So as I shared with you, our Youth Promotores the title is an evolution of what originally was a Testimonios Project. So originally our Promotores, our very first cohort of 16 students, were selected to promote mental health. After its success rate and retention rate as well, our promotor model has evolved. So year 2, we were able to adapt a second track that brought us an additional 10 to 15 youth promotores, who were then titled Promotores Preparados. The focus of Promotores Preparados in partnership with American Red Cross was for our youth to inform and educate the community, especially around the fires, as well as emergency preparedness. Since then, we've evolved. Our latest cohort 4 includes 46 promotores. To date, we have had a total of 122 youth promotores. And our additional tracks are promotores verdes and promotores de la ciudad. Promotores verdes will be focusing on environmental issues, and promotores de la ciudad is a partnership with the city of Santa Rosa and Kaiser to talk about civic matters and civic issues, but specifically also around the city's general plan. One thing that I like to share that has come about our youth promotores, it's a 1-year paid internship, paid stipend internship that has come out of our exit interviews with our youth promotores. Is the takeaway has been that in their role, they've learned how to navigate their families, especially during the fires, to either resources or shelters. So what we appreciate learning about this model is not only are we educating our youth how to seek services for themselves, but more importantly, how to navigate their families, community to seek services, especially in times of need. Next slide, please.
Okay, so thank you, Lupe. How she mentioned Proposition 63 does fund a lot of our social media platforms such as our e-newsletter, but aside, we also use Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, as well as our website to kind of further and share information and resources to the community. For example, we understand that Facebook is more commonly used by the older generation and Instagram is more commonly used by like the younger generation. So it's been very successful in continuing to share those resources within our communities. Both platforms have approximately over 1,000 members on Facebook and on Instagram. We do have one for LSP in general, and then also the youth promotores have their own platforms as they also share their own social media marketing. And then YouTube has been a huge success on our part because the youth promotores have utilized it to share emergency preparedness. They actually created their own videos on what to include in a kit, and then also emphasizing kind of breathing exercises to kind of cope with what's happening around. We understand that this does affect our mental health as well. So they also created a video on like breathing exercises on how to kind of relax oneself when we're kind of going into crisis mode. So yeah, check us out, follow us on social media, and check out the work of the youth promotores and also LSP and what we're continuing to do. And then this is, if any of you have any questions for us, please email us at admin for any general questions, or you can call us at the following number. Or if you would also like to be part of the e-newsletter, feel free to email admin and we'll happily include you into our members list. Thank you.
And again, I apologize. We kind of rushed through. We want to be respectful of everybody's time. And we're, again, very appreciative of the opportunity to be able to share with you all a little bit of the work of what we do. Again, this is typically a 30-minute presentation that I meant to time us. I didn't get the chance to, but typically it's definitely a 30-minute presentation about the work that we do. But we're happy to answer any questions.
Does anybody have questions for Lupe or Sarah Sabel? Michael?
Yeah, it's been brought up here in the past that there's been some difficulties with kind of bridging into the Latino community regarding the world of like mental health services and all that kind of stuff. And I was wondering if you could comment on exactly from your experience why you think that is, and then maybe talk about how you've made headway in that area. Would be wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I think that is definitely the million-dollar question, right? As to why the challenge, but I think in areas that we have been successful, first and foremost, I think it's connecting directly to the community. So we are intentional about first connecting and reaching out to the families wherever it is that they are at before bringing up topics about suicide ideation and what is mental health. So we're also, because of our existence in Sonoma County, we have great partnership with so many organizations that we're able to connect our youth promotores to lead these sensitive topics and conversations in communities. So for example, a very popular workshop that our youth promotores lead is called Apoyo Emocional y Social para Adolescentes. So this title, basically it's titled Emotional Support for Teenagers. And our youth promotores lead this presentation in spaces like ELAC. So we have a partnership with the ELAC and DLAC communities. We have partnerships with various organizations in Sonoma County in which are already spaces that are being held in different spaces, and that we then come in to have these conversations. And what I appreciate about this presentation is that families are receptive to listening to our youth. I think it's also because we have youth members of their community speaking to them on introducing the topic and also providing them ideas as to if you are having a son or daughter that perhaps is showing signs of suicide or signs of depression, we identify them first, and then we give them tips as to, well, what can you do? It's coming from a good perspective. We've often teamed up too in the past. For example, we have Nubia Padilla here. We've teamed up with Humanidad, where we'll have a youth promotor present and then a therapist speak on the services that are available in Sonoma County. And then we're also good about trying different platforms. If a presentation doesn't work for everybody, then we'll do one-on-one conversations, where we make sure that we're at evacuation centers, temporary shelters. We make sure that we're in spaces where Latinos are at, and if not, we make sure that we invite Latinos to these spaces. But definitely, I agree that mental health is an area and continues to be an area where there is so much stigma around it, and unfortunately, it's a growing concern in the Latino community. And so our efforts are, and our intention is, to work with community and to meet them in spaces wherever they are at, and to provide them the presentation and information in their own language. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. That was very informative.
Any other questions?
Carol?
I was just wondering if you have you've had, it sounds like you're in your 5th year now. I'm wondering if you've kept data on the students that have been promotores or promotoras, and whether it has influenced them in their career pathways.
Yes.
Is this helping to create a pipeline for a more diverse
Absolutely. And one thing, you know, it's actually, I was having that conversation with my evaluator today. Definitely the program is heavily evaluated. I'm considering it as part of it's part of the Office of Health Equity in the California Reducing Disparities Initiative. But one thing that we're trying to figure out how to track now, that we're now seeing as an evolutionary factor of our program, is that since our promotores, again, hence why we now have a new partnership with American Red Cross. So that's a new grant based on the outcomes. We have a new partnership with Kaiser and the city of Santa Rosa. And then in terms of workforce, California Human Development hired over 20 former youth promotores to support with the disaster relief assistance for immigrants. In addition, HURA has recently hired at least minimum 5, if not 10 youth promotores as their new ambassadors. I'm not exactly sure what's the title that HURA has provided them, but they've hired former youth promotores. And I know that right now the county is looking, Sonoma County Behavioral Health Department is looking to hire youth promotores as well, former youth promotores, to support in other efforts. So not only are promotores being hired by other entities because they've already been trained on how to navigate sensitive conversations, but also they've already been trained in our youth promoter model on how to engage community and how to lead presentations We also, another component of our model is at the end of their 1-year internship, we help them build a resume, we help them create a cover letter, and we introduce them throughout the process what it's like to apply for positions in Sonoma County. The Youth Promoter application has been modeled around what it would be to apply to a city or county position. So they are already familiar with supplemental questions. They have to answer 5 supplemental questions.
Yeah.
So in order for them to be selected as a youth promoter, they have an application to complete, 5 supplemental questions to answer, and an interview to complete. And then they sign a contract, which is their 1-year agreement. So we're also within the model teaching them as to what it would be like to be an employee of the city or county. And I think that's what has provided our youth the confidence in applying them to positions with county, city, or state.
Yeah.
Majority of our students are also pursuing higher education, which is another key component of our program that we invite them to take. We pay for them to take, they used to take the community health worker course, and we would pay for the cost of that course. And that was an opportunity for us to introduce them to higher education and specifically community health worker work and public health.
So I just have a question for, is that the course offered by the Center for Wellbeing?
No.
So like an online course?
The community health worker course used to be a course through the Santa Rosa Junior College. That program ended last year, so we partnered instead with the University of San Francisco. So now the University of San Francisco provides our youth with the training.
Is that the City College? No.
Correct. Santa Rosa Junior College.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thank you for your question, Carol.
I have one more question. So the you said the application for the crematories was open now. How
Yes.
long is it going to be open?
So we recruit for a new cohort. We started recruiting early, and it's open until April. So by April, we select our promotores.
Okay, and oh my gosh, I had another question. Oh, I know what it was. You said age 16. So
25.
So is this something that like a high school kid could fit in around going to school?
Absolutely, yes.
Or a college student?
And so the great thing about that age range is that oftentimes our college students then end up being mentors to our high school students. We put them together in teams, in groups, to deliver specific projects for their year. So they commit to 120 hours, and they commit to delivering 2 to 3 projects of their own choice. And we give them that opportunity because we want them to have ownership of this program. And that is what has attributed to our high retention rate. We've had a high retention rate with each cohort, meaning each student starts their program in May and ends in the following May.
Okay, any other questions? Hey, thank you very much. That was an interesting presentation.
Thank you all for the opportunity. And happy to answer any other questions. I'll put my information on the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lupe. Sara Isabel.
Thank you, Lupe.
Nubia, you're up.
Hello.
You're sharing your screen.
Okay, thank you, Betsy, for inviting me. My name is Nubia Padilla, and I am I have a small presentation, very quick, so you can allow me, give me the maybe co-host to, anyway, allow me to share the screen.
You should be able to share, Nubia.
Oh, okay, so let me see if I have it ready here. Give me a minute. Oh, yeah, it is. So let me tell you a little bit about Humanidad. Humanidad is a fairly new organization, was established in 2013. We are located at 1260 North Dutton Avenue in Santa Rosa. And, okay, we are a multicultural community mental health agency. We train the future MFTs, and our focus is on culturally proficient clinicians. Our mission is to strengthen the lives of the Latinx community by increasing access, which is sometimes so difficult, and utilization of community mental health resources. We transcend barriers and reduce stigma by providing culturally proficient therapist training, inclusive community education, and bilingual therapy services. And I will go through the vision, but you can check this in our website, but I want to make focus on our values because compassion, we serve the community with commitment and dedication, culture, we respect, honor all cultures, and in this regard, we not only provide services to the Latinx community, which is the main bulk of our clients, but we also have other ethnicities and languages, and anyway. Integrity, we take great pride in providing high quality services, and heart driven, we do the work because we love the work. So what do we do? We do it by cultural marriage and family therapist training. We have a strength-based therapeutic counseling. We have, this is very important, our programs are community, convivencia community groups, and I will talk more about convivencia, so in a little bit. Counseling in mindfulness and training in schools. We are a Cook Middle School and Cesar Chavez Language Academy School. We have community outreach. We work with several, we do forum classes, trainings. We have 2 programs in KBBF. What is convivencia? So the convivencia model, it's a model designed to address the inequities in the Latinx community and to provide access to mental health. And I saw the question that Michael asked before about why the Latinx community is so resistant to receive mental health services. And it's the stigma first, there are many cultural components there, but the convivencia, which means gathering, is a model, a therapeutic model, still guided by clinicians, where the people come and address their emotional and mental needs. And we have it in 2 ways. We have, and I have to say that this is part of the California Reducing Disparities Project, which is a project that was especially designed to provide or to work in equity and all these issues that are for minority communities, not just for the Latinx communities, but other communities. So in California, we have 35, Lupe, correct me, or 32 IPPs. We call IPPs the project staff for the California Reducing Disparities Project. So community convivencias is one-time event, and it's a way for us to start breaking the stigma. Bring the persons, there's music, it used to be when we were in person, now we do it virtually, and music and cultural elements, and is led by clinicians that are bilingual. And so addressing the needs of the person, but with the cultural twist, that's what I said. And the group convivencias is a group, a week therapeutic support group. And the idea is that in 90 minutes in group, persons create this sense of community, and they figure out that they are not alone. They are not the only one that have issues. They are not the only one that needs help. So that's what convivencia does for the community. And this is some information, no, but anyway, so that's what we do in regard to, now we have education services. And as I mentioned before, we have the convivencias, now we have virtually, we have to adapt because it's still been a project that is being evaluated by the state. Actually, we have a local evaluator, and state evaluators, UC Davis and Loyola University. So we have this actually now virtually, and we have to change a little bit protocols, but we're still doing it virtually. We have community webinars. So the community webinars are some are open to the public, most of them. But the idea is that we, through the community webinar, we support the trends that we see in convivencia. For instance, if the person said and that the relationship with the teenagers have been an issue, we try to address those needs that we documented through the convivencias model. And also, as I mentioned also before, the strength-based therapeutic counseling training. This is the clinicians have to fulfill some requirements from training, and we have those trainings. Some are open to the public, and some are just for the clinicians a Humanidad. We have now, with the support of St. Joseph and Bukalu, we started a new program, the Community Navigator. So we are, the idea is to provide resources, and one more step to providing a more holistic service to our clients. We have, it's fairly new, we started in November, so we're so eager to continue and to grow this program. So if you have any questions, I know I went too fast. I tend to go fast anyway, but and also I want to respect your time.
Carol?
Getting myself unmuted. I was just wondering, Nubia, if your community navigator would consider herself, or would you consider her to be a promotora? And if so, would you see her as a community health worker? And why I ask that is it sounds like from the presentation this evening that there is a growing acceptance of the role of a person with the cultural and linguistic competencies to be the point of contact for an agency, and a best practice in terms of making that link with community members.
Yeah, so that's a good question. And the answer is yes. Which, of course, our focus is on support the person or the family of the person and that has some mental health issues. But at the moment, for instance, our community navigator is being trained in NAMI, because the idea is that we can join forces and in the future provide those trainings. And also we are we're going to start working with an agency in Oakland that will support us training the community navigator on how to provide information around mental health services and all of that. So the answer is yes. We have just one community navigator. The hope is that we can grow it. But for us, it's so new and so important to have this service anyway.
Thank you, Nubia. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And last but not least, thank you. Last but not least, Refugio, he let all the ladies first. He's with On the Move. He happens to be my partner. So
thank you.
No pressure.
Betsy. No pressure. Hello, everyone. My name is Refugio Mata. I recently just got hired with On the Move. I'm a program coordinator at Parent University in Sonoma Valley. So I'm working closely with the Sonoma Valley Unified District. And at the moment, what we're doing, we have 8 promotoras. They're parents at the schools here in Sonoma Valley. And with the goal of having these, what they're going to call the wellness hubs, So they're going to be running the wellness subs. Unfortunately, they can't really do anything at the school sites because of COVID. But one of the things that we're doing is we have these educational forums Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 5 to 6, where we invite parents from Sonoma Valley to learn on different resources. So today we had Child Parent Institute. They have different topics, so we have them share. We're going to have Latino service providers talk to our parents next month on mental health. So we're trying to connect Sonoma Valley parents to different resources, valuable resources. And one of the topics that they have requested is mental health. So we love to listen to our parents and see what kind of interest they may have. So far, this is the interest that they showed to us, and so my role is to go and reach out to different community partners and invite them to our educational forums and have them present for that hour. Right now, our educational forums are that's how they started. But the district has requested if we can start having them also either bilingual or having them in English. So I got disconnected.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Sorry. So the district has asked us to um, have these educational forums in English as well. So as of right now, they're in Spanish, but hopefully within the next month or so, we can have these educational forums offer in English as well. And also another thing that they would like for us to work on is having a youth promotores. So I would love to connect with the Latino service providers and see if we can collaborate and have a youth promotores here in the Valley. So that's it's still in the works, but yeah, as of right now, that's one of the things that we're working out here in the Valley with the school district. So it's very exciting. And as of right now, we have about 20 active parents that are participating in our educational forums, but I would love to see more parents. I know Zoom is something new, and it has been a challenge for a lot of parents, especially low-income parents, to connect to something new that they haven't used in the past. So one of the things that I'm planning to do is recording myself teaching parents how to connect or how to download the Zoom application, or yeah, just I need to find ways because there's a lot of valuable resources out there in the community. So my goal is to have at least 100 parents connected in our education forum. So I know it's a lot of work, but it's definitely going to be worth it. So that's pretty much what we're doing as of right now. I'm not sure if you guys have any questions, but I am still, I'm in the next few months, I'm going to be connecting with more community partners. Like I said, we're having Latino service providers present to our parents. Also, I'm reaching out to Hannah Boyce Institute. I know I have a friend there. He has different, he presents different workshops. Richard De Leon, I'm not sure if you guys know Richard De Leon. But I'm also working with La Luz Center here in the Valley. We have had Humanidad in the past present to our parents, so I'm gonna definitely reach out to them to have them present. So, but yeah, any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you so much for the space. I really appreciate it, and just meeting you guys via Zoom.
Thank you, Refugio. So there's a question about providing information. I will send Tori everyone's information as well as PowerPoint presentations. Nubia, if you mind sharing that with me, that way we can post it on our
Bexy,
website.
Bexy, if I can, I forgot to add that we are going to start providing services at La Luz with La Luz partnership. And it's exciting because it's a good start. And one more thing is that next month, we are going to start providing services for people with medical and other insurances. Right now, we provide low-cost therapy services for people that don't have access otherwise. But anyway, next month, we are going to start providing services for persons with medical and other insurances.
Thank you.
Yep.
So I, for one, am very excited to hear all of the things happening centered in Eastern Sonoma County, but I'm sure, spilling over and affecting the whole county. So really an excellent group of presenters. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Any other questions for any of these people?
I just like to second what you said, Kathy. I've been here for a long time. I was born and grew up in Sonoma, and I'm so encouraged and so excited that these services, the wealth and depth of the services that you all are providing and helping the parents to be able to help their kids. It's awesome.
Okay. So thank you very much. And we're going to move on to
Kathy?
Yes.
I see that Supervisor Susan Gorin is here. So if you want her to do her presentation, I think she's
okay. Bill, is that okay?
Available. I want it.
Okay. So and we also have Maria Arkin's report. Are you okay with letting Supervisor Gorin go ahead? Okay. So Supervisor Gorin, if you want to talk to us for a few minutes, that would be great.
Thank you so much. And I've been enjoying listening to the couple of presentations that I could actually tune in on. Thank you so much. And really, truly, thank you to the exceptional members serving on the Mental Health Advisory Committee. We could not do this without the citizen input and the professional clinical input that you are providing. And so I'm so grateful that you are working so hard each month on behalf of all of our constituents. And I'm going to make it really brief because you've had a long meeting and I've had a long day as well. As you know, the leadership of the board has transitioned from me as chair to Supervisor Linda Hopkins to the 5th District Supervisor. Part of me is saying, yay! It's been a challenging year, and part of me is really sad that I'm not in the know of everything that's happening at the county, but I'll get over that quickly. We are living in a virtual world. We look forward to the day when COVID is not the overlay on all of our lives and we can actually meet together in person. But isn't Zoom wonderful? We can do this at a click of a finger and not have to travel all over the county in order to talk with people from over the county. So I think that our virtual world, our ability to communicate through Zoom or GoToMeetings will not be stuffed back into the genie bottle. We're going to be using Zoom either as a hybrid version, certainly at the Board of Supervisors, I suspect, as well as all of the advisory committees and our various boards and commissions, because it is relatively convenient. But I do miss seeing you and so many people in person rather than virtually. The real issue that we've been grappling with is COVID, and you know better than anybody how impacted our community is from a mental health perspective. Sheltering in place for 9 months, whether it's our seniors or other folks, distance learning, learning to share the broadband, if you have broadband, with your family and your partners, and being very frustrated by the technical challenges that we have, and knowing that the inequalities that we knew and know are existent in our community have only been exacerbated by the shutdown of COVID, from COVID. And we have struggling families all over the county. They are without jobs. They are without financial assistance or resources to buy groceries and to pay rent. And our businesses are shut down. They're struggling. Landlords are being challenged. And everyone is very nervous about our physical health and vulnerability to COVID. We have a lot of seniors, especially in Sonoma Valley. We are disproportionately more senior than the other districts of the other supervisors. And I live in an active adult community, so I hear from my neighbors frequently about their concerns, preserving their health, and also knowing that they're struggling. They just want to meet their families. They want to hug their grandchildren, me included. And COVID is really challenging all of us. So we are desperate to get our vaccinations and to move more freely into the community and open up more freely to re-engage and energize our economy. And I could just wring our governor's neck. No, that wasn't a threat. It was just a note of frustration. And he told us all that seniors over the age of 65 can just call up and get their vaccinations. Our emails and our phones have been blowing up, whether you're a healthcare provider or my office. Everybody is very frustrated in not being able to access vaccines quickly, efficiently, and conveniently in locations that they want to see them distributed in. So I've just asked our health director again, we were talking with her just previous to this meeting, when will additional vaccination distribution sites be announced? Because indeed they are working on the logistics for setting up vaccination distribution in Sonoma Valley as well as elsewhere around the county. They announced the 3 locations at the fairgrounds, Petaluma and Windsor, but you have to sign up, get an appointment based upon the eligibility criteria, which brings me to the governor's announcement. I would love to be able to have vaccine distribution everywhere with qualified personnel dispensing the vaccine, but it's complicated, as you might know, where it's not like a flu shot or COVID test where you can drive up and then be on your way. You have to walk in, you fill out the paperwork so that we know that you're receiving the first of 2 doses. You receive your vaccination and then you sit. And we need qualified medical personnel to ensure that you are not going to be suffering from adverse experiences from the vaccines. And yes, you probably heard that Moderna vaccine may potentially have some side effects. And guess what? We received 15,000 doses of that batch of Moderna vaccine. So they will be sitting in the freezer until the all clear sign, when in fact we could be using that vaccine to vaccinate folks. We are struggling, quite frankly. We want to make sure and prioritize our healthcare workers, but we have many remaining unvaccinated. Our care workers at the elder care facilities are still unvaccinated. We don't have enough vaccines and people to administer those. And I hear from now people in Sonoma Valley and elsewhere, well, Napa County is administering vaccines. Marin County is administering vaccines. I've made an appointment down in Marin County. Why can't we get them in Sonoma Valley? And yes, I'm part of the chorus. Why can't we set up the vaccines in Sonoma Valley and elsewhere? We will get there, but the real challenge is the shortage of vaccines. The number one message that you should absorb, and this starts from the top. We had a president not acknowledging the necessity of preparing in advance, and we are still spinning wheels trying to get our distribution sites up and make sure that we have the vaccination availability, so we don't make appointments and then have to turn people away, because that's happening in other states and other locations. And just let me finish with this and I'll take some questions. So we will be having a public meeting, I believe maybe this Thursday at 3 o'clock. You should be receiving information. It's a press briefing at 3 o'clock. I haven't seen it yet. Let's see if it's on my calendar. I know we were trying to arrange this. There's a press conference on COVID-19 immunizations. It's on Zoom. I believe you can access that through the county's Facebook page. And so it is destined for the press, but excuse me, the press conference is at 3. I think maybe the public meeting is at 4. So we'll try to get you the information. And I'm just as frustrated as you are. I would love to be able to spread the vaccinations widely, and yet here we are. So information evolves as we speak. We're trying to update our website, socoemergency.org, vaccinations or vaccines, to get the information as it evolves in real time. And Carol, hi.
Hi, I just had a question in terms of, it seems like to get the vaccine into people's arms, you need both the vaccine, you need the people that are willing to have the vaccine, and you need staff, qualified staff to give the vaccine. I'm one of the Medical Reserve Corps members. I'm wondering why we cannot mobilize funding to pay people to respond to this crisis. This is the biggest crisis we've had across the US. Well, I don't need to say how big this crisis is. It's huge. Is there not funding available to bring out people from retirement, retired nurses, retired doctors, to bring the qualified staff on board to help provide at least that part? Certainly volunteers can help out with crowd control and, sorting boxes for equipment. And, but I think it seems really frustrating that the resources are not there to, help promote this.
Right. Point taken. And thank you so much for reminding us of the great expertise of retired medical professionals. We may get to that point, but until we have more vaccination availability, it's challenging to set up a distribution site without the supply chain of the vaccination availability. And that is the challenge that we're having right now. And nationwide, actually worldwide, because it's such an inequitable system of distributing vaccines. And so I think we do have, we have asked for volunteers first. Firefighters, the EMTs have volunteered. And, but you're right, we should be paying people. And I don't know that we have the funding to do that, but I think we could find spaces, distribution sites, but we need the staffing, and we need the technology to help register folks for appointments, because you can't just announce come one, come all, because it will be a mob scene. So it's more complicated than just getting the medical professionals in there to dispense the vaccines. We will get there, and we will be asking for your help in the future potentially, but we need to work out the wrinkles of the vaccine.
So other than the Moderna vaccine that's going to have to sit in the freezer because there's side effects, does Sonoma County have the Pfizer vaccine or one of the alternatives that can be used?
We have been dispensing Pfizer and Moderna, and the same with Kaiser. I think the three major health providers, St. Joseph's, Kaiser, and Sutter, all receive independently their vaccine supply. The county receives vaccine supply, which we are then dispensing and distributing to the federally qualified health centers, if they have the freezers to store them. Of course, it takes some specialized equipment to do that. And so we are running on all cylinders to get all of those things operational. And as I said before, we are not certain how many doses we will receive week to week. So it's pretty hard to expand the distribution sites when in fact we don't know if we're getting the vaccines to supply those distribution sites.
Okay, thank you.
Why does it seem like the counties around us are giving vaccine to their people 75 and older, and we seem to be behind that curve?
Well, I've talked with Kaiser this morning. They're beginning the outreach to those 75 and older, and they are also setting up for online appointments. So they're getting up to speed. But remember the specifics of the counties around us. Napa County has 1/4 of the population of Sonoma County. They are much more concentrated, so they have taken charge of distributing the vaccines through their public health department. And they don't have sites outside of the central core. We have 3 at the central core, but we have a need throughout our geographical area. Marin County, half of the population of Sonoma County has more vaccine supply than we do in Sonoma County. And they're doing a pretty good job of opening up the Civic Center and the fairgrounds with a number of healthcare providers. But Sonoma County has said to our healthcare providers, we're not administering the vaccines. You are in charge of outreaching to your patients electronically, and we're about ready to tell them you need to report back to us how you're doing that. But we don't know in Sonoma County how many people are insured or have relationship with the 3 major healthcare providers, and how many are being treated at the health centers or private patients. That's the challenge that we are having right now. We're trying to get a handle on the lack of information about how folks are going to be in the outreach process and receiving the vaccinations. So Marin County has half the population. Napa County has 1/4 of the population. Most counties are, and most of the states are in a similar challenging environment that we are. There are some exceptions, but and we're trying to learn from them, but we're all struggling with lack of supply.
So I see Becky has a quick question, and then we've only got 6 minutes left and a few more things to talk about. So Becky, do you want to ask your question? Becky Ennis?
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't get my button fast enough. Supervisor Gorin, thank you. I'm hoping it's a quick question. I'm wondering if you could speak more to the contract with Leap Solutions and how they're working to make this situation better. I'll be very general and vague.
Thank you. It's a good question. And we knew that what we learned from COVID is communication is the key to everything, whether it's testing or just information about how the county is moving forward. So when we knew that very short time ago, we needed help in communicating with our community, especially all the sectors of our community. The decision was made to hire Leap Solutions. Many of you have used Leap Solutions for strategic planning and communication. Judy Coffey happened to be retired from Kaiser and one of their senior consultants now. So we did hire Leap Solutions and Judy Coffey in particular to hold stakeholder conversations. And all of the supervisors suggested people in the geographical areas that should be included in the outreach list. If you do want to be part of the outreach and part of the stakeholder conversations with Judy on a weekly basis or every other week, please let me know and we will add your names to the list.
Okay,
Yes,
so
I don't have a question, I just have a statement.
okay,
I am my son's in-home support person. So last Monday, I got an email from them telling me that I should make an appointment. Either they gave me 2 days, Wednesday or Thursday, to get my shot. I did. Seamless. Once I got through the website, there were a few problems initially. I walked away and I came back and everything was fixed and it was fine. I downloaded the authorization, which was a Safeway from Safeway that I get where I get my flu shot anyway. And so I took that. I took my insurance cards. I had my driver's license. I drove up there. I had my time. I drove into the parking lot in front of the racetrack, and the cars, they moved us through station to station. I had 2 stations. I got my shot at the second one, and I pulled over for 15 minutes so they could make sure I had no problems, which I didn't, and drove off. The only thing I had was a sore arm for a day and a half. So I just wanted to share that in-home support services had a seamless organized way to get the shot, and I was very happy. It's very surprised. I mean, I just got an email.
yeah,
2 days, I was able to call my doctor to make sure that it was okay, because I had some, just wanted to make sure that it was okay. And
thank you for reporting that success story. I'm thrilled to hear that. And I was one of the supervisors who said, you've got to outreach to the IHSS workers immediately. They need to be included as a health priority for vaccinations. And I'm so glad that the system worked. I wish we could jumpstart all the rest of you in the vaccination queue. We're getting there, but like you, I'm patient. I'm over 65 and I'm caretaking for a 94-year-old mother-in-law, sheltering in place. And obviously my concern is with her and many, many people with underlying medical conditions. So we'll get there.
So I see Michael and Carol and Bob. I'm acknowledging you, and I'm going to let you ask your question in a minute, but I also want to acknowledge that we've got 2 minutes and we haven't heard from Bill or Maria. So I'd like for Bill and Maria to have a quick moment to say what they need to say. And then we'll come back if Susan, if you're willing to stay for a minute for their questions. So Bill.
The highlights for us right now is we are putting together our budget for next year, and a lot of that work includes trying to figure out how to handle the new Measure O money. So this money comes with directives and requirements associated with the measure, and so this is new to us, and so I look forward to offering more information in the upcoming months about how that support fits into our budget. The other thing is that we are at a state of rebuilding the division by adding some administrative positions that have been absent. It's been difficult for all of us, Sid, Karen, me, and others, to run the division and stay on top of everything with the number of holes that were opened up after the cuts in 2016-17. So this, in particular, 3 positions that we rarely recruit for are opening up over the next couple of weeks. We are creating a position that is the title is not determined yet, but it's going to be a manager that's in charge of our workforce education and training, but also our race, equity, social justice work. So we'll be recruiting for that position so that we have somebody in management whose job is focused in that area to keep us all moving in the right direction. And then we're opening 2 section managers. So we're opening an adult section manager position. This will allow Sid to return to forensics and crisis services. And we are opening a youth and family services section manager position. So I, with Karen together, have been, Karen Salidi, have been filling the role there. So we're looking forward to that rebuilding.
And Kathy, I do apologize. I'm going to have to leave the discussion now because I have a phone call that's pressing. And I just wanted to say thank you once again. Thank you, Bill, for that report. And if you have follow-up questions, you can email me and I'll try to get the answers for you. So thanks again for all that you do. And please be well and be safe.
Thank you. Okay, and so for these, if I have asked Betsy to be on the interview committee for the one position that deals with the race equity, and if any of the rest of you are interested in serving on an interview committee, just please give me an email so that I know you're interested. So anything more, Bill?
No, those are the highlights.
Okay. Maria, did you have a report?
Yeah, just a quick report as far as activities at the JC goes. The peers hosted a workshop in October for suicide prevention and education. We were able to screen the film The S Word. And then in December, we were able to host a motivation workshop to, really push our students to pull through the semester, give them tips, offer support for them. And I just have to say that I am, very proud of the work that Peers has done. We were able to keep the same amount of people that would normally come to our workshops in person online as well. So that is in all a huge accomplishment. Our social media has grown. We are now over 1,200 followers. So just, we're able to keep in contact with them, being able to provide outreach and really push our mental health services out there. And I'm just keeping it really quick and talking really fast because I know, I really want to honor everybody's time.
It sounds like that's an amazing number of people you're reaching. So it sounds like you're being very successful with this online outreach. It's good for you.
Thank you.
Okay. So I have, I just want to remind people that January 23rd, which is this Saturday, we're having our retreat, 9 to noon. Looking back at our last retreat, I remember, I realized that we had said 2 hours, but 3 is what we're doing. So hopefully you can hang in there. If you have not, you're muted, Becky, but if you have not seen the Laura Porter webinars, please watch them if you can. Annabelle, if you need the link to that, let Tori know. And we're looking forward to the February Mental Health Board presentation. which Betsy's also setting up. Right, Betsy? Yep, okay. And I encourage you to attend the Path to Hope presentation, which is really lived experiences of our providers. This last one, that's on Thursday, 4 to 5:30. Friday is, there are 2 presentations by the COM board, 2 trainings, one on unconscious bias in the morning and one on community program planning process for the MHSA in the afternoon. So I'm attending both of those. If anybody else is interested, look on the COM board website and you will see what they have to offer. So anything else? Bob Cobb.
Real quick, Betsy, thank you for putting today's program together. It was very informative. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Agreed. Awesome.
Yeah, very good.
Carol.
And yeah, amazing presentations. Thank you. But just also an invitation to the Sonoma County Peer Council listening circle on January 29th. That's a Friday. And I put the link in the chat. I did the North Bay Organizing Project training on listening circles. And so we will be trying out their format. And so I hope you can join us.
Okay, and before we adjourn, I want to say really quickly, this is a compliment to the whole board, really. I attended a mental health board training by the COM board, and a commissioner from San Diego County was there and was totally amazed that we had 15 to 20 people who were not on the board attending our meetings. So I think everybody can give yourself a pat on the back. We're not half as big as San Diego County, but I'm really appreciating that we do have people that are paying attention, and such a vibrant board right now. I'm proud to be part of. And Sid, yay Sid. Okay, with that, unless there's anything really pressing, I'm going to go ahead and adjourn the meeting. We're only 7 minutes over tonight.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.